Welcome back. I'm Paul Glennon, and today we're going to have a look at the wheels off the Mark III. With the engine gone, so I sourced a replacement, but meanwhile I said, why not get the wheels off, get them back polished up, because they're up here. They've all been faded. Here, I'll give you a look. Have brought them wheels to work, get the tires off, so a little bit more easier to work on. But as you can see, there is a bit of damage on a few lips. The polishing has gotten faded as well. I did buff them when I got them, but here, they were fine for the moment, but they could really do with a new lease of life. So plan is to get these split. That's really it. Get them split and get them off for polishing. Back of them are actually quite bad as well. As you can see, there's plenty of brake dust, but like even paint is peeling. Actually in decent nick, as in there's no bends or buckles, but they could really do with a refresh. And to my surprise as well, I actually didn't realise that until I had the tyres off that these are actually two-piece. So nice little discovery. So they are 17 by 8 all round. So they're squares. And actually not sure the offset, but they sit really well on the Mark III anyway. Probably is stamped in there. Yeah, 8 by 17. E20, so ET20 with the adapters. They actually suit perfect because these are 5x112, so they're not bolt onto the Mark III, but they look good. I'm happy. Anyway, I'll get you onto a time lapse, start stripping these down. Oh yeah, and as well, I forgot to mention that the multi-spline nuts on OZ wheels, they're not standard multi-spline. Standard multi-spline is 12 spline, which will fit any hex nut or 12 spline nuts as well, or hex. But these are actually 10 spline because they are OZ specific. Now Laser do a kit. That's the kit. You can actually count them, and you see there is only 10 splines on them. I won't be using that or the 8mm, only using the 10mm. I'll stick a link to the description for the kit number, but yeah, they sit on perfect. So don't let it catch you out if you are splitting OZs. They do need a specific socket. They're not that dear, I don't think. They're only about 30 quid for the kit. The 10mm, or the 8mm, sorry, is for 3-piece with the same as the Pegasus. The Pegasus here. I probably will split these as well because these are in bad nick. But yeah, so these are a bolt and nut. So like they're 8mm bolt, 10mm nut. And that's why you need the other socket. And then when it comes to, I haven't come across, when I say I haven't come across, I haven't owned a set of wheels that I needed this socket for. That'd be for the internal 10 spline. They'd be kind of like the BBS RX, I think. They come with that style of bolt, but these again are OZ specific. Yeah, that's a 7mm 10 spline. Sorry, 7mm internal 10 spline. Anyway, think I'll stick these on a time lapse and we get these split. Split as in get the centres out of them anyway. two wheels split, and the other two are fighting me. Looks like these wheels haven't been apart in a long time. So two of them are pretty much seized onto the barrels and lips. These two came off with more or less no issues. All the nuts are quite grubby, so I have to clean them up somehow. Soak them in something. And all the studs are still more or less in the wheels, apart from one on each wheel, which is not a big issue. I'll just have to get the nuts off them and wind them back in. The other two wheels now, they really are fighting me. One of them is starting to separate over here on this side, but it's completely seized over here. So yeah, I'm gonna have to think of something else. I have a rubber mallet in work, so this will bring it home. It's a good hard plastic mallet, so this one is just solid. So yeah, soak them in WD-40. I'll try them again tomorrow. Here, broke lumps of wood, trying to split them. I'm using wood because I'm not going to damage them. Not going to damage the steel because obviously it's softer than the aluminium, and that's really it. As well, I've been using a gun for winding them off, but I'm not using them to loosen them. Use the ratchet to loosen them first, crack them open, so that way, and then I just use it's just an electric speed gun, just to wind them out. But yeah, I know I'll get back tomorrow and see if I can get them off. Right, I'm back had a little bit of route with these this evening and cut them apart. These two were a nightmare to get off, but what I ended up doing here, mallet didn't actually make any difference. Quite crusty. Mallet didn't really make much difference, but what I did do was I screwed the nuts back on, like so, while the barrel and lip is still on it. Set the socket on and slowly tapped around all the way around until it started to move. Once it started to move, they actually kind of fell out, which is good. Right, get them loading up now and really get them off the polisher. Get them all back up, I suppose. Hopefully you can take them in tomorrow, the next day, and they'll be back in a couple of days. He's quite good, so it should be quick turnaround. But anyway, get them loaded up, get them gone. You can see they're actually, these two were the ones where the barrels were seized on, and they're really crusty all along. This one not so much. That one was an absolute nightmare to get off. But hey, that's cars for you. Get them loaded up into the pickup. Hopefully drop them off tomorrow. Hope you like the channel. Follow, like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Even comment if you like. That's really it. Have fun.